Guarda lì! Guarda là, sicuramente!
Insurance companies are preparing for such and the claims and the homeward, and businesses begin to assess the full extent of the damage. According to preliminary estimates, the potential losers from the storm could amount to hundreds of millions of euros, although the exact figure will become clear after a full assessment is carried out. Local authorities have present the work emergency service, which have been scheduled the limit due to scale of the damage. Fire brigades, police and the rescue responded to thousands of calls after working in dangerous conditions. Volunteers also joined to clear debris and provide assistance in vulnerable population, especially in rural area where access the emergency service was difficult. Environmental experts note the increase in the frequency of the storm and the magnitude is likely to climate change and call more for discussing the issue to reduce the risk assessment in the extreme weather events. In response, German political have called to accelerate action to climate change, and some have pushed to increasing investment in flood protection to the disaster preparedness. In the Green Party in particular, related is called the major overload the country's infrastructure to better cope with such incidents. The storm also sparked discussion around the Germany's energy grid, several power outages in key regions highlighting the vulnerability of the country's energy infrastructure. While most of the outages were quickly repaired, emergency companies have been critiquing the slow restoration of some rural areas where communities were left without power to more than 24 hours. Now that the storm subsided, attention to tunnel recovery and reconstruction efforts. Local authorities have begun to process assessing the most affected areas to location resources to recovery efforts. Some regions are expected to take several weeks and fully recover from the disaster. Meanwhile, the German federal government has announced that financial assistance will be provided to those affected, especially in agriculture and small businesses. The affected of the storm are being felt beyond the German border in neighboring countries such as Poland and Czech Republic prepared to similar conditions. Meteorologists agency across Europe has issued warning urging residents to the affected region prepare for the possible flooding and strong winds in the coming days. The storm serves stark reminder of increasing unpredictability of weather conditions in the Europe and the need to coordinate response of such extreme weather events. Meanwhile, Germany continued to keep with the pieces, strategically in the defense against the growing threat to post extreme weather in renewed state of urgency. Social media was flooded with the video showing rivers and hail sweeping through the marine plants and the cars buried under the white pile of ice. Munich green spaces and surrounding farmland were destroyed. The trees in the England garden were completely stripped bare, and the neighboring orchards and hope fields suffered catastrophic damage. Raising fields and significant losers is agriculture. 10 minutes destroyed a well-seasoned work, said farmer Lucas Buller. Authorities estimated the damage of hundreds of millions of euros, and insurance companies are bracing for avalanches of claims. Meteorologists explained that the storm was caused by the hot, humid, and cooling with a sharp northern cold front, an extapable mixed with becoming more common in the Central Europe's changing climate. The Bavarian government has promised to provide emergency aid assistance with the cleanup, but not many Munich residents. The storm was stark reminder of how vulnerable even the modern city when the natural unleashes its fury. Traffic across Europe was disrupted, with hundreds of flights cancelled or diverted. Truck driver forced a dangerous motorway to ferry service across the North Sea were suspended. Meteorologists said the storm is a part of unusually active weather patterns that has swept across the continent and intensified due to the collisions of warm air masses with the cold Arctic front. We have seen storms and gathered intensify and unpredictability, which constants the climate change trend. As dawn broke, the full extent of the damage became more apparent. Europe leaders have promised to allocate emergency funds to aid in the recovery, but the many residents in the shock remain strong. One moment we were having dinner, and the next the roof was gone. Recall Italian Marco Bianchi and the natural Roman who has both here.
When in Germany.
This week, a violent hailstorm struck southern Germany, hitting Bavaria and Brandenburg with unprecedented force. Hailstorm the size of a golf ball in the same era's tennis ball pelted down from about 13 minutes caused devastation damage rarely seen in the region. According to the German weather service, the storm rapidly developing of the Alps before the moving northward. Meteorologist Thomas Heath explained it was perfect storm combining high humidity, unstoppable air and strong temperature difference. He stated the hail crosses reached extreme high, generated massive destructive hailstorm. In Munich, neighboring and Augsburg, thousands of residents shared video of hail blanket their cities. Winter scene and flooded immediately out of place in early autumn. Roofs were destroyed, cars were dented beyond the ray, and trees stripped of hail and their leaves. It was a dented sound. Emergency response teams were dispatched to multiple districts as the roads were blocked by the flooding and debris. Rescue team working continuously through the night across the continent. In Poland, emergency service responded more than 2,000 calls relating to flooding and fallen trees. Schools were closed, highways were blocked, and thousands of people through the temporary shelters. Damage to agriculture is expected to be significant. Vineyard in France, olive growers in Italy, and through the fields in Germany suffered heavy losers. Economy is estimated to total of cost damage of over 2 billion. A down broke to full extent of the destructive become apparent buildings destroyed, cars stranded, and communities under the airports were built.